Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is KiWiKaKi, and today we are going to be taking a look at a PvP. This is between HuK and KiWiKaKi, who were recently opponents in the MLG over in the US. So, two fantastic Protoss players here, going to be looking at their play style, seeing what they do. As I say, normally I do go into all these pro games blind in the sense that I have not watched them previously, so there's going to be excitement, hopefully, from both sides, and we shall see how both do. I am not hyped up on alcohol today. I am hyped a bit up on tea, because Finland sells horrible tea, so I brought some from last time I went to England with me to make sure that I'd never run out. Probably about 500 tea bags. So let's hope that keeps me going for quite a while. Yorkshire tea, for if anybody wants to know. Good stuff. Anyway, KiWiKaKi here sending out his first probe to scout, as well as I believe HuK did send his first probe out to scout as well after those pylons. I'm pretty sure that these two know how the others play. I'm pretty sure there was I think it was a best of 7 actually, due to there being a 2-1 lead in HuK's favour going into the final of the MLG. So these two by now very familiar with each other's playstyles, and I'm pretty sure they're going to know exactly how to counter and how to prepare against each other's styles. KiWiKaKi now throwing down this first gateway, as well as that first assimilator, and HuK doing exactly the same pretty much. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what goes on here. Normally I do not like PvP. I think to some degree PvP isn't an interesting matchup because there are very set limitations to what a Protoss player can do, especially in a situation where he's up against a Protoss player as well. And it all most of the time you just see it ending up in like 4-gate pushes and then moving into some ridiculous like robotics bay, colossi spam, or it gets too far and then you see void ray. But hopefully this won't de-evolve into the standard play that we do normally see. Anyway, KiWiKaKi here just poking around at this pylon, as well as HuK throwing down his cybernetics core, and also KiWiKaKi throwing down his cybernetics core. The only differences here is HuK is throwing down this second assimilator, maybe personal preference, maybe he's going for a heavier gas build. We might see him bring out some immortals and probably maybe throw down a robotics bay. We'll have to see how the game progresses. HuK now just keeping this probe in here for scouting, very good. Do make sure as a Protoss player that you keep this probe alive as long as possible to be able to see what your opponent is doing. In fact, that's a fantastic advice for everybody playing this game. A bit of zealot on zealot action here. God, that's I can't believe I just said that. That sounds terrible. But it seems that KiWiKaKi is coming off the better of the two here, doing a lot of damage to that Zealot, but Stalker is coming out to reinforce this Zealot, and now pounding away at KiWiKaKi's Zealot. He was bringing another probe in to help out, but I see that he's brought a second Zealot down here to do a bit more harass. As you can see in this production tab, both players upgrading to their warp gate technology now, and 1 second, I need a sip of tea. Damn, that's good. And as we can see now, these Zealots putting on early pressure, trying to take out that pylon and bringing a bit of pressure onto these Stalkers, but now reinforcing with his own Stalker. KiWiKaKi moving this up, going to get a few pot shots on these Stalkers, but these Stalkers are coming extremely close to killing these two Zealots. I believe these are going to go down, but as HuK also loses a Zealot, so pretty even exchanges going on up there. Meanwhile, both players are bringing out more Stalkers to prepare for any kind of pushes they are going to make, and from what I can see here, he's going on a bit more of a defensive, while KiWiKaKi is really wanting to get up that ramp, see what's going on, and make a push as quickly as he can by the looks of things. Constantly reinforcing here with a few more Stalkers, and now HuK does have these warp gates in place, so he's going to be able to reinforce, and I believe that KiWiKaKi is going to have his warp gates up very soon. In fact, they have just gone up right now, and both players now throwing down a robotics bay. So very similar builds going on here. I do like these placement of the pylons. Great positioning here in case a pylon does go down here, so when if KiWiKaKi's forces did get up the ramp, they would be able to warp in, but now a nice force field. Actually, no, it wasn't very good. It just split up the forces just a little bit. These sentries doing quite a bit of damage to these stalkers, but it seems that this zealot is going to go down, and these stalkers on half health. Their shields will replenish though, so I'm pushing them back up to about 75% of total health. He's gonna cut off these sentries. Get a 1 kill. Yes, does get 1 kill, and a nice sort of force field there, making sure that they don't push up anymore. There are a lot of zealots warping in, so these are going to be a pain in the arse for KiWiKaKi's stalkers here. But both players are bringing out immortals onto the field. So each player responding to the fact that the other one had stalkers, and then they bring out immortals, and now KiWiKaKi is bringing out a Stargate, so we may even see some void rays coming along here. This nice proxy pylon warping in to pile on even more pressure this early, but as you can see here, HuK does have a large force up this ramp, so if anything does get caught up here, they're going to go down extremely fast. KiWiKaKi here in no position to push out. Very, very, very zealot heavy here, and I believe that KiWiKaKi sees that he is zealot heavy, and that is the reason for this starport, and he's bringing some Phoenix out, which are going to pose a bit of trouble for this Protoss army, since there are only 2 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. We do see a Twilight Council, and now a Dark Shrine warping in for HuK, so that's going to be play for a very interesting match if KiWiKaKi does not get any detection out from either an observer or cannons. I imagine he will get an observer out soon enough, though, as most good Protoss do take that precaution. These units just hanging out at the bottom here, trying to contain. I would say KiWiKaKi will be in a position here maybe to expand, especially if he was piling on this early pressure. It's always a good hallmark of good players to, whilst attacking, throw down that expansion so that when you've attacked and be it pulled back units or whatever, you do have an economic advantage leading into maybe a next push, or you have something of substance. But HuK now here moving out with this large force, especially again, it's very, very zealot heavy. I'm not sure I agree with being so zealot heavy. I would like to see zealot charge go down if he is investing that much in these zealots, but poking a little bit of those Phoenix are going to fly past, and I don't know. I think that HuK should be. Oh, he has warped in some Dark Templar, 3 Dark Templars. So, does he have detection? That's what I want to know. He does not have a detection. But he is now bringing out Observer, as I believe his Phoenix did scout that Dark Shrine. So, and now HuK is pulling back and bringing these Dark Templar into play. So these Dark Templar need to reach here to be viable before this Observer does come out. And I think he is splitting them up to have a look around. Going to be sending one of these Dark Templar in, but this Observer is out just in time, and this Dark Templar does die. HuK now spotting this proxy pile and is going to take this out as quickly as possible to make sure no random units can be warped in at this point, but these Phoenix now coming down to have a little poke around. There is still not much air defense for HuK at this point. I would like to see more Stalkers out, especially if he is going to continue pumping these Phoenix. The 4th Phoenix coming out now, and HuK is still continuing to produce those Immortals, as well as throwing down a few more gateways. And also expanding. So I think nice timing on that expanding. I think he has seen KiWiKaKi's forces, and whilst I would again like to see this Zealot charge out, I think he's in a firm position where his army is just basically bigger than KiWiKaKi's, regardless of these Phoenix and regardless of regardless of how many zealots HuK does have. Sorry, I need another drink. So now KiWiKaKi is coming in for this, what seems like a very big push. And he's now got, great force fields cutting off half of that army, but he's now picking up quite a few of these, picking up those sentries to make sure no more force fields can go down. But these Stalkers are just ripping apart these Phoenix, and those more good force fields. I believe that was from KiWiKaKi's side, but now he is in full retreat. Those Zealots did rip apart quite a big chunk of his army, and with two observers here just following the main army, I'm not sure what he can do from this point. This force is massively outpowering KiWiKaKi's force, and he is forced to retreat back to his base. I would say that that is a very bad idea to throw this expansion down now when you've got such a huge force bearing down on you. And I'm assuming he's going to have to cancel it in order to stay in this game. Good force fields going down, separating a bit of that army, but leaving that open. There's the third force field choking off this big ball of units. But at this point, KiWiKaKi just has not enough in order to fend this off. And I believe, from what I'm seeing here, it's going to be GG. Taking out these pylons, and he does have a few stalkers up in his base, but they're going to get taken out by those stalkers, and now pushing down that fast expansion, and that is, yep, that is GG. So thank you very much for watching, guys. This game might have been aired elsewhere, but I do not give a damn. I love Protoss versus anything all the same. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. So bye.